Matt, Zach said this might have been a game last year you have struggled in because of the shooting. Did
Right.
you see what you want to see in game 2 when they're not making the shots they want to make, but
Right.
kind of find other ways to be successful?
Right. Yeah, no problem. I mean, no doubt. They, we had some really good looks. It just didn't go down, but it was a really good win, for us. I thought we defended well. We rebounded well. I'd like to have about 4 or 5 of those turnovers sawed off and, have it around 8 to 10 turnovers a game. But, I thought the guys that, were playing, like you're trying to mix different guys in there to get a group or find a guy, who can knock some shots down to get that balance. Because obviously Zach was very effective, on the interior. But just, I thought an overall good team win. We got a little bit from everybody on the defensive end, and obviously we did a really good job on the glass.
What was different about Zach on the offensive end tonight compared to Tuesday?
He made his shots.
Well, but beyond that.
No, it's simple. Like he got off to a good start, obviously, made that hook shot, kind of collected himself, just, took his time and just realized, I think they felt if they were going to double, then, we would have both. We would have been able to make threes, get wide open shots, get them in rotations, and they stayed one-on-one. And they were going to live with that. And, we really could have pushed it out if we made some of those open shots. So, but no, I just thought Zach did a good job of establishing himself and, just getting off to a good start. I think when you're, you have that kind of ability to get that kind of position, down low, teams have a decision to make. If he can't get that position, then they get him out on the court, and then they can help ball side. When he's that deep, it's awfully hard to help ball side. And, he just when you get off to a bad start, sometimes that snowballs in the wrong direction. You get off to a good start. But we all know that, he's capable of having games like this throughout the season.
Coach, the pace of play that they played with and your defense forced them to play, does that affect offense at times, and should it affect offense at times?
That's a good question. I think at times it can. I don't think it did tonight. I just think that we missed some shots, and I thought that our ability to contest their shots and get late in shot clocks, they were shooting some awfully tough shots out there. Well, I thought it was a flip for us. Obviously, it's my perspective, so I look at it that way. But I thought we had some really good shots just not go down, and I thought they had some, really tough ones not go down. So I thought our defense was pretty good. I thought we made some strides in that area, and it was good for our young guys. You want to feel through the game offensively, and that's just not the way it works. You got to feel through the game by guarding, taking care of the basketball, rebounding the basketball. Those are the constants. There's games the ball's not going to go in, but you can always do those things. And I thought our guys, like I said earlier, outside of the turnovers, did a really good job in those areas.
David, I don't think had practice.
Correct.
Since Saturday's mishap.
Correct.
I mean, were you hesitant at all about putting him in, or just do you feel like
he said he could go, and the doctors and trainers and everybody said that he was fine to be able to go. And I thought getting him to 15 minutes was good. Obviously, anybody who's competitive, wants to play more than that and stay out there. Obviously, he hit a big three for us, in the corner. But I thought he played hard and did some really good things. Like, you sit out for a week, you'd be amazed how you lose your wind. And your conditioning suffers a little bit, but just we needed him to get out there and get this game under his belt, and so he can be ready for Tuesday.
Just for Zach to get probably 32 minutes
Right.
out of this game. I know you talked in the off season about
Right.
it's going to be up to him how much he plays, but
Correct.
A positive sign that he lasted 32 minutes.
Yeah, and that's Mason got a couple fouls. Trey Kaufman got 3 fouls. So just when you kind of look at that and just look at the way the game was going, we were struggling offensively, but yet he was having his way. So you needed to keep him out there. But I didn't see anything. Like, I always try to. Sometimes you can't see it all the time because there's so many things going on in your head as a head coach. But I didn't see him get fatigued or just look like he was behind plays. He had a couple fouls in that second half where he just had to get big and move his feet a little bit better, but I didn't think they were fatigue fouls. I just thought it was just from a lateral movement standpoint. But, Yeah, no, I think that's a great sign also.
Seemed to be getting pretty solid minutes from Brian Waddell. Does that surprise you after he was set back the way he was?
Yeah, not at all in terms of a player. He's a very functional player. That's why we took him. He can defend. He's long. He can move. He's looking better and better in the games. You get into practice and it's hard, because sometimes it can be a mosh pit and we don't call many fouls. So it's just a physical, hook and hold type deal. Sometimes in practice, just trying to get guys to be able to play through that physical contact. So the practices are definitely harder than the games. So I think it's probably a relief for him to be out there with 3 actual officials instead of me calling bad calls, which happens a lot.
Coach, you've said in the past there's nothing like game experience for players to learn the game. You have some new players that are really talented. You'll have some ups and downs. When would you like to see that even out, and when do freshmen get it with that experience?
Yeah, well, I think our freshmen get it. I don't think that's the issue. I think, you're going to have some breakdowns, but right now I would have thought that our defense would be behind our offense, and it really is, but our defense has been pretty good here the last couple games. The start of the Truman State game, it wasn't. For about 5 or 6 minutes. Their pace really bothered us, and I think our guys have been on it here the last couple games. But no, these are great lessons. You get into games, you can talk all you want. You got to go play different people in different styles for different issues to pop up. And when they pop up, are you ready for it? You can handle it. Now you keep having more games too to scout from. After you get that data. And guys start to get to 5, 6, 7, 8 games, rarely are you going to see things that are going to be different from film, because coaches are trying to teach their team and build habits, and you get into kind of a pattern of what you do. That's just we're all as coaches, you get kind of your style, and so that's really, really good for us. But this was I know we've said it a couple times, but this was a great experience for those guys. Because when you play in high school and you score, you just get more attempts. So when you miss some shots, it doesn't matter. The ball's coming back to you. And right now, we probably should have got the ball into Zach 4 or 5, 6 more times than we did tonight. You just got to keep going. If someone has it like that, you just got to keep going to them. And we did a good job, but we didn't do a great job.
First seemed to really affect the game with his energy in the first half. Is that
Yes.
what you saw from your perspective?
Yeah, I thought he did a lot of good things. We ran a couple things for him to get some shots, and he just hasn't knocked down some perimeter shots yet. But when he starts doing that, that's really going to add an element to our team, because he's a very good shooter. But I thought he was active. Obviously, he rebounded well, did a lot of good things. I thought he defended well. He's much more physical, and he can guard different guys, which is good, because that's what kept him off the court last year in certain matchups as a 4. I thought tonight he did a good job with it. It just depends on what the other team has and what they're capable of. We got a lot of guys there, right? We got a pretty good front line, and now we just got to kind of find that mix and who plays well together. But Caleb's versatility of being able to play the 4 and play the 5, really helps us, just like Trey Kaufman. And I thought Mace did some good things. He didn't, he got in foul trouble early, and that affected him in terms of minutes. But I thought when we went back at the end there and went back with Caleb, I thought he once again did some really good things defensively.
We didn't see you the other day. Can you just tell us about Miles Colvin and what you really like about him and all that stuff?
Yeah, I think Miles Colvin's going to be a tremendous player at Purdue. Great positional size, elite athleticism. Has really worked on his game, his skill level, his ability to make shots, make pull-ups, get to the basket. In my opinion, he's the best player in the state. And obviously, we've been fortunate enough to have the top 2 players in the state last year, and so last couple years. And I just think he's going to be a really good player. Very young for his grade, just got a huge upside. I really think the sky's the limit for him. Just has to get to Purdue and mix in with our guys and just keep working. He's spent a lot of time for his skill level to improve, so we're excited about it.
Gotcha. With David Jenkins Jr. back in, you finally have someone back out there who's born before the year 2000. What did his experience bring how did his experience sort of in
Right.
the college leagues help him in the preparation for this game, and then going out there and hitting that first three late in the game?
Yeah. Well, first of all, his personality and how he is, he's really blended well with our team. You know, he gets along with everybody, and that's so important. I just talked about it there. I go like, you can get upset if you want, like about minutes across the board. Like you can get upset about that. Then you should have went somewhere that you could have shot more and played more minutes and did, you know, those type of things across the board. I'm just not talking about him. But you got to sacrifice on a really good team, because when you're on a really good team, you got more than a couple guys. You know, you got a full roster full of good players, and some nights it's not going to be your night, and then you got to cheer for him. So David has just been great. You know, he got hurt in a practice, and then he scrimmaged the next day, and he wasn't very good in the scrimmage. But just the fact that he scrimmaged and just pushed through it just kind of showed his toughness, his ability to go out here and play. He missed a week of practice. He did not practice yesterday. He went through the walkthrough today and shot around, but no, he's been great for us. And you know, we look forward to getting him in the mix. It's tough that he had to miss this week to start the season, right? And but you know, we expect big things out of him. I think he's really going to help us.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.